A breakthrough after more than 60 years, the declassification of documents relating to the death of American President John F. Kennedy, who was fatally shot in Dallas in 1963. With the decision of the current U.S. President Donald Trump, the assassination records of two other influential Americans will also see the light of day. The great mystery of the assassination of the 35th President of the United States, and the historic decision by his successor, more than half a century later, 47th President Donald Trump has ordered to declassify documents relating to the Kennedy assassination.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades.
A total of 80,000 pages of documents from the investigation after the assassination. Their publication is an election promise of the American president, but also a tribute to a great predecessor. Trump visited the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
We're at the Kennedy Center. It needs a lot of work. We're going to fix it, make it beautiful. It's a very big part of the fabric of D.C. and the Capitol. We're bringing back the Capitol. We're bringing back our country. But while we're here, I thought it would be appropriate. We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files.
JFK died in November 1963 in front of millions of Americans watching him drive through the streets of Dallas, Texas. The backstory of the assassination case still stirs enormous emotions today. One of the best documented theories is that the assassination was ordered by the authorities of the Soviet Union, as pointed out by many service people on both sides of the Iron Curtain. But more theories continue to emerge. This case has not been well explained at the time when all this happened, when it was still fresh and there were many different doubts. Thus, many conspiracy theories emerged around this case, and many people spoke out. Therefore, these statements are often contradictory. Surveys conducted over the decades since the assassination have shown that 80% of Americans believe that key evidence in the case was covered up. The Kennedy assassination was a shock to the United States. After all, it was the Cold War, the culmination of the Cold War. And on the other hand, it was the assassination of the President of the United States. Thousands of publications and films have been produced and are still being produced on the Kennedy assassination. John F. Kennedy is still one of the most recognized and honored presidents in U.S. history. This name is also known because Kennedy died under tragic circumstances, as did his brother a few years later. Hence, this name is associated in America with politics and with such tragic events. Many Americans, statistically speaking, know better during which years Kennedy was in power than, for example, Lyndon Johnson or Dwight Eisenhower. The documents declassified by President Trump include a total of 3 names: John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, who was also assassinated 5 years later, and Martin Luther King, an activist for the equality of African Americans, who was shot in the same year.